Hello and welcome to Diecast Diaries. I'm Dan, and in this video I thought I'd have a look at a couple more fire engine models. But although I do plan to do videos on fire engine models by Corgi, Dinky, Matchbox, etc., I thought I'd actually have a look at a couple made by the German company Gama. Now Gama, I was quite surprised to find out, originally established way back in 1882, became widely known as a maker of tin plate toys, and started making diecast in 1959. Seemed to continue up till about the mid-90s, and then they were absorbed by the Siku Group, obviously another big German manufacturer of diecast. They had quite a big range of diecast models, cars, trucks, a few military vehicles, a couple of which I've got, and also quite a few emergency vehicles. Now the two I've got to have a look at in this video, it's fair to say quite unusual. Although I like sort of fire engines generally, I do tend to prefer the ones that are just a little bit different, a little bit more kind of unusual, as I say. And that's certainly the case with this first one. So this is the Gama Porsche ORBIT modular fire engine system. Now, before I found this on eBay a couple of years ago, it's fair to say neither the model nor the actual thing I'd ever heard of. Not familiar with it at all. I think I must have just been doing a bit of a search for Gama in general. And yeah, this popped up and it was too good kind of not to get. I did a quick check, I think, on like a Google image search just to make sure that the model was complete. And it certainly sort of appeared to be. And of course, the other good thing was it was quite cheap. So yeah, couldn't sort of not get it really. So it's a really unusual looking vehicle, and as I said, it seems to have been designed as a kind of modular fire engine system. I'm guessing so that a fire department wouldn't have to have multiple vehicles, each one with its own kind of speciality. They could instead just have one that could then be changed with these different sections to suit whatever the particular emergency was. My only concern with that would be, you'd hope they could change them around pretty quickly. You wouldn't want to be sort of sat waiting while the fire brigade kind of quickly sort of change around the fire engine. But so yeah, so as you can see, it's got these sort of two sections. Now this one at the back, unfortunately, is a little bit loose, but it does detach. It then, for when it's in use, it has these fold-out stands. I'll just put that to one side. So that then leaves sort of fire engine looking like that. It's got opening sections on either side with a stored hose reel. So it sort of opens on that side as well. Now this section also detaches. It's a little bit stiffer. There we go. And when it does detach, it has a little stand that you just flip across and it stands up like that. So that then leaves you with that. It does look and kind of feel like this bit so it should detach as well, but I don't think it does from what I can kind of work out. But then that does mean that you can then reattach this. So if you need a sort of turntable ladder type fire engine, but you want one that's kind of a bit shorter, you don't need the middle section, you can just attach this. It does attach. It's just a little bit of a fiddle, unfortunately. Move that out of the way. So yeah, the idea was, as I say, you could make a fire engine up out of these various different sections. The turntable ladder itself does extend quite far. Does actually extend quite a way. Unfortunately, although it does go up quite high, it doesn't stay up very well. So obviously it's a little bit worn. So I'll just pop that back in like that. Just take that back off and put this bit back on. Now, one thing from when I was trying to find out a little bit about the model, it seems like it does squirt water, and certainly you can see on the top here, it's got an opening top there for the water tank, and this bit here obviously presses down. It does seem like that would sort of spray water out. So I was trying to work out how exactly it would do that, and I thought, oh, obviously, you get the hose out, and that's the hose. It's got like a nice little end there. So I assumed you sort of attached here onto this bit on the top, but they're both the same diameter. There's absolutely no way they'll fit. Now there is something rattling around inside the water tank. I'm wondering if it's possibly some kind of adapter or something like that. I don't know. So it does seem like it will squirt water, as I say, using the hose. Unfortunately, as I say, I've just got no way of getting the hose to fit to the top there. Unfortunately, let's put the hose to one side. So yeah, really sort of unusual vehicle. And you can see, even just the sort of cab bit, it's quite a sort of modern looking vehicle. Now, I was trying to sort of find out as much as I could. As soon as I saw this, I thought, well, I obviously want to find out about the real thing. Really struggled. You sort of do a Google image search. You think that, Porsche. I was quite surprised to see the name Porsche involved in terms of a fire engine. So I was kind of thinking, when I put it into Google, there can't be too many things that come up. But the vast majority of things, of kind of Google results that came back, were all in relation to the Gama model. I did find a couple of technical documents about the real thing, all in German. Some of them were quite in depth. I think there was one that was about 150 pages. I managed to sort of do a quick Google Translate on some of it. And it seems that this was, as the name suggests, a concept designed by Porsche. It dates from about 1976. And as I say, the idea was to have kind of a modular fire engine. But it appears that the real vehicle was never made. The sort of very poor quality photographs that did appear in this sort of document were clearly of a model that had obviously been made to kind of prove the concept, if you like. It seems like the next sort of couple of stages it didn't get beyond. Whether it was just thought it wasn't viable, whether it was too expensive, really don't know. But it's certainly an unusual idea. Now, Orbit, obviously I had to find out what that stands for, and I can certainly see why they wanted to abbreviate it. So please forgive my German pronunciation here, but it seems to stand for Optimierten, Rettung, Brandbekämpfung und integrierten technischen Hilfeleistung. Quite a mouthful. Now that seems to translate as future rescue and firefighting integrated technical assistance. So you can kind of get the gist of what they want to do. So obviously future, this is obviously a future kind of project. Integrated means that it incorporates not just sort of one function, but obviously several functions, and it's kind of rescue and firefighting. So I kind of get what they're kind of aiming at. But yeah, sadly, it's not something that ever kind of came to fruition. So it's not like there's a real vehicle that's been kept and it's in a museum or anything like that. As I say, sadly, it never got beyond that. Why Gama then decided to do quite a detailed model of it, I don't know, unless they were involved maybe with making the concept model for some reason. I really don't know. It does seem to be quite a surprise. Or, as happens with a number of toy manufacturers, sometimes they try and get ahead of the game. And if this was going to be a new kind of fire engine that was soon going to be seen on the sort of streets of Germany and possibly other places, naturally, you can understand kids wanting a toy of one. So maybe, as I say, it was just an attempt to get ahead of the game, and then unfortunately they were stuck with it after the real vehicle never went ahead. But so it's quite an involved model. Again, it's pretty heavy. It's mostly die-cast. Obviously, you've got things like the water tank underneath is plastic. There are a few, obviously, the little accessories, things like that are plastic, and the whole of the boom on the ladder is plastic as well. But yeah, there's some real sort of good weight to it. The wheels, I would say, probably let it down slightly. They actually remind me quite a bit of Siku wheels of the sort of 80s sort of period. But yeah, it would have been nice, I think, if it had some more. Obviously, I have no idea what wheels the real one had because it never got that far. But yeah, it's a really nice detailed model. Unusual that it has no lights on it at all. But as I say, if it never got beyond a model stage in real life, then maybe they never got that far. So, but yeah, it's certainly probably the most unusual fire engine I've got in my collection. And as I say, one that when I saw it, I couldn't resist. So, I mean, look, as I say, I wouldn't say I'm that familiar with the model. As I say, things like this is what I've been able to get from like doing a Google image search and that, but obviously a lot of it's in German. If anyone out there knows any more about this, exactly how the water works and things like that, whether you can sort of use it with the hose, I'd love to know. So please do comment. But yeah, so that is the Gama Porsche ORBIT modular fire engine system. Now the second one to have a look at tonight, it's a bit more conventional, but it's still quite an unusual vehicle. Now this is a Magirus Deutz DL23-12, not a particularly catchy name, it has to be said, but now this was a vehicle that definitely did make it into production. It's quite an unusual looking fire engine. It's one that was specifically designed to go under things like low bridges, sort of low buildings, things like that. So you can see the cab's much lower than it would have been on a normal fire engine. Now these, I think this is a later sort of Gama model. I'm guessing this will date from sometime in the 80s. It's got to predate 1989, sort of 1990, as it says, made in Western Germany underneath. So I would say certainly it's from the 80s. Feels totally different in quality, as I say, to the Orbit one. The wheels are much better. Although it's a smaller vehicle, I would say this one's heavier. There's more metal content on this, even the whole ladder's metal on this. But yeah, this was a vehicle that did actually make it into production. It seems to have been made for quite a while. Again, when I was doing a bit of research on it, I managed to find a photograph of one that had been made as late as 1997. They could have been made beyond that, I don't know. I've also found pictures of these in service in the UK, so it is a vehicle that was not just found in Germany. But it's a really nice model. Got sort of fold out stabilizers, 4 of those, and a working steering as well. There we go. And similar to the Orbit one, a really long ladder, and it extends out quite a way. It extends out all as far as that, and then obviously, I know it's going to disappear off screen, but yeah, extends up pretty high. And what it also has, I'll just bring it down again, is this little basket that kind of clips onto the front like that, and that can raise up. That's plastic, to be fair, but the rest of it's kind of all metal. So this was another one. I think I had seen pictures of vehicles like that before. I'd certainly not seen the model though, again, before I came across this one on eBay. This is one I've had for maybe about 4 or 5 years, something like that. And again, it was simply a case of coming across it on eBay, it being cheap, again, a quick check, make sure it was complete, and yeah, snapping it up. So I would say out of the two, this is my favourite. I think maybe that one is a bit too unusual, and also the fact that one never actually sort of entered service. So yeah, so that's the Gama Magirus Deutz DL23-12. As I say, specially designed for going under kind of low buildings and sort of low bridges and that. So yeah, so I just thought tonight I'd have a look at a couple more of my more unusual fire engine models. I don't have, as I mentioned, I don't have many sort of models by Gama. I do have a couple of their military models, which I'll probably feature at some point. In terms of other fire engines, as well as I say the obvious ones like sort of Dinky, Corgi, Matchbox, I do have one by Conrad, who are another German diecast manufacturer. That's actually an American fire engine. So I thought, I did wonder about incorporating it in this video with it being another German make, but I decided against it. I think I'll do that one on its own video at some point. But yeah, I thought I'd just sort of do a quick video on these two tonight. So yeah, as I say, if anyone knows more about this one, I'd love to know. As I say, it does seem to be a pretty obscure model. They're not uncommon. If you sort of go on eBay, there are a few about, and you know, as I say, I picked this up pretty cheaply only a couple of years ago, so I don't think it's like a rare model at all. But I'd just like to know a little bit more about it. And in the unlikely event anyone does know anything more about the real vehicle or the real concept, again, it'd be great to know. So yeah, I'll leave it there for now. But yeah, in the meantime, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.